I'm hiking in the Desolation Wilderness above Echo Lake. This is near Lake Tahoe in California. Part of the Sierra Nevada mountain range, which is formed out of granite. Lakes here were actually formed when the Sierra Nevadas uplifted and also formed valleys between them. It's threatening to rain here today, so you might get to see an exciting, drenched by water scene, or it might just be a lovely sunny hike. Hard to tell. I do have a plastic bag to put the electronics in, so hopefully we'll be fine. You can see the rain starting over there. There's a boat taxi that brings people across Echo Lake if they want to start hiking over here where we are, but you will never guess how we got a boat ride across the lake. There was some folks who came with a pickup truck and a kitchen stove in the back of it, big gas range, and so we offered to help them move it into their boat. We went with them to their cabin on the lake and helped move the stove all the way up the hill. And then we got a boat ride from these kind folks over to the end of the lake where we're hiking out of now. It was great to meet some locals. I was wondering if these red berries were red huckleberries like we saw in Oregon, but I don't think so because the berries each have two little eyes on the base instead of that characteristic little blueberry tuft. There's the thunder and some of the rain. Oh, it's gonna get real wet real fast. Gotta find a tree or a rock. Hopefully this is just a little storm, but got this nice tree going on. I saw a big lightning strike kind of over the lake or in the direction of the lake but past it, and I think the thunder was a couple seconds afterward, which actually makes sense as we're over 3 miles from that side of the lake. Pretty good spot for waiting out the storm. Rain has passed for now, so we're on our way again. There's a nice blue sunny sky in the background coming towards us. It's such a gorgeous hike. A lot of the trees here have adapted to the barren, rocky environment by growing all twisty. Reminds me a little bit of the ancient bristlecone pine forest where the trees are thousands of years old and the trunks are very gnarled and rather small. So my guess is these trees are not as old, but they may have been living on this mountainside for many, many, many years. It's gonna rain again, but there aren't any convenient trees nearby. I saw the pika, but did I get a photo of it? No, because pikas are small animals that are pretty elusive. They live only at very high altitudes generally. So maybe it wasn't a pika, I don't know, but it was making that ee noise. Little hike update. There are approximately 1 zillion mosquitoes. Perhaps they came out because of the rain, so it's also raining on us, of mosquitoes, and they're biting our legs and everything. Seems like the best course of action is simply to return back to the Echo Lake where we started. Maybe we'll go for a swim and give up on this particular section of trail, which is just swarming. I've got my bug net with me because that's what I bring with me in places like New Hampshire and Florida that are often very buggy, so luckily it was still in my backpack. You know, in the Northeast, when we go into buggy, wet conditions like this, often there's mushrooms, edible mushrooms all over the place, but unfortunately there's no mushrooms here, just bugs and rain. It's literally 1 minute later and the sun just came out. I think this bird might be eating mosquitoes. Excellent. There's still a few patches of snow in the mountains above the lake. Wow, look at the light breaking through the clouds to land on the mountains. I used to live in California for 8 years, but I lived in the city, and I drove out to Yosemite a couple of times, which is gorgeous. I never saw most of these places that we're hiking on this trip. I didn't make it a priority to drive out into the mountains and stay there for an extended time and just really absorb everything that's out here. It's so different from the city. I feel very grateful to have the opportunity to do this now. Like, even if I moved back to California, I'd want to do it in a way where I could be out in the wilderness some of the time and just have a really different experience than I had before. Here's a smaller lake, Lake Tamarack. You can see the hail hitting the water. Yeah, you can really see the bigger hail coming down now. Very exciting. Once again, hiding under a tree from some intimidating weather. This time it's hail that started out small but is gradually getting bigger. You can see it pounding into the surface of the lake. Wow, take a look at that hail bouncing off the rocks. Hail is big enough so you can feel it landing on you. Hopefully it doesn't get too much bigger. Also, the thunder is back in the distance. It's been a very exciting weather day. Lighter colored needles on this tree are the ones that it grew this year. The hail stopped and now the sun's coming out over the mountains. There's actually a stream or maybe a waterfall making its way down the mountain over there. Weather is changing just so quickly today as the sun peeks out behind the clouds. We've gone from sun to rain to sun to rain again to sun to hail to rain to sun. See that rain? That's where we're headed back to. We're back to the same rain hiding spot just as it starts to rain again. It's pretty dry under this tree. It is hailing again, and there's constant rolling thunder pretty far away from us, I think, but it's echoing off all of the mountains. The spot is pretty dry under the tree, but the weather continues to be a little threatening. In the rain and the blue sky is coming this way, so this is the chance. The trail is covered with water now. It smells very herbal in the woods now, as the rain has soaked all of these plants. Oh, finally, the blue sky ahead of us. Blue sky ahead of us, but behind us and approaching the gray, rainy sky. Gotta go. We're hiking back alongside Echo Lake now, and this trail is actually the Pacific Crest Trail. I've seen a lot of backpackers on their way to sleep somewhere out here tonight. This is granite, perhaps scrubbed to a shine by glaciers many, many years ago. This tree is growing right out of the granite. Almost looks like Half Dome, although quite a bit smaller. It also looks like a frog to me, don't you think? It's a long lake, but finally I see the spot where we started in the distance. It was a beautiful hike today, a little bit intense at times. The mosquitoes, the weather, it's hard to believe this has only been one hike. We got to see three lakes. We got to see three lakes, and we even swum in one of them. 2 hailstorms on the same lake. Then it hailed again on the way back. We found some very convenient trees to be able to hide underneath. So I am miraculously quite dry, and with the sun out right now, it's hard to believe this was the same hike. The weather was exciting and intense. It worked out, and the walk back along the lake was sunny and beautiful. All in all, a great day. One more view on this hike. I just walked over the hill from Echo Lake, and then over here on this side behind me is Lake Tahoe. Another view of Lake Tahoe in the distance. You can see the rain is coming down from the cloud. There's even a rainbow in the rain coming down on the hills over there. It's been a gorgeous and exciting day. Thank you for sharing it with me.